Was it fate that brought a billionaire to that bus stop, or did destiny need a $3 push? This is the story of how one accidental meeting proved love doesn't check bank balances, it only recognizes brave hearts. The snow fell in thick, silent flakes that evening, dusting the cracked pavement of the bus stop in quiet white. Liam pulled his jacket tighter around himself, the cold biting through the thin fabric. He'd just gotten off his shift at the auto shop, his hands still smudged with grease, the last $20 in his pocket meant to last him the rest of the week. The bus was late, as usual, and he sighed, watching his breath fog in the chilly air. Then he saw her. A woman stood a few feet away, dressed in a sleek black coat that looked like it cost more than his monthly rent. She was frantically tapping at her dead phone, muttering under her breath. Even from a distance, Liam could see the frustration in the way she held herself, the tight line of her shoulders, the way her fingers clenched around the useless device. Something about her seemed out of place here, in this part of town, at this rundown stop. Liam hesitated. He wasn't the type to approach strangers, but the way she kept glancing at the street, the quiet panic in her movements, it tugged at him. Before he could second-guess himself, he stepped closer. "Need help?" he asked. She startled, her green eyes flicking up to meet his. For a second, she just stared at him, as if trying to decide whether he was worth answering. Then she exhaled sharply. "Unless you can magically charge my phone or summon a cab out of thin air, no." Liam almost smiled. There was a bite to her words, but beneath it, he could hear the frustration, the helplessness. He'd been there before. He reached into his pocket, fingers brushing against the loose change inside. Without thinking, he pulled out 2 crumpled dollar bills and a single coin, the last of his cash, and held them out to her. "Bus fare," he said. She blinked at the money, then at him. I can't take that." "Just take it," he said, shrugging. "It's exact change for the bus." The woman hesitated, her gaze flickering between him and the money. Then, slowly, she reached out and took it, her fingers brushing against his rough palm. "Thank you," she said softly, and for the first time, her voice wasn't sharp. It was quiet. Grateful. Just then, the bus rumbled to a stop in front of them, its doors hissing open. She clutched the bills in her hand, giving him one last look before stepping on board. Liam watched as the doors closed behind her, the bus pulling away into the night. He shoved his hands into his pockets, already missing the weight of that money. But for some reason, he didn't regret it. A week later, Liam was elbow-deep in the engine of a sedan at Sinclair Auto, the shop where he'd worked for the past 2 years. The pay wasn't great, but it was steady, and he'd gotten good at tuning out the noise of the garage, the clang of tools, the hum of the radio, the occasional curse from one of the other mechanics. Then, suddenly, the noise stopped. Liam glanced up, wiping his hands on a rag. The other guys had frozen, their attention locked on something, or someone, near the entrance. And then he saw her. The woman from the bus stop. She stood in the doorway, her coat pristine, her posture perfect. But this time, she wasn't looking lost or frustrated. She looked in charge. One of the managers rushed forward, nodding eagerly. "Ms. Sinclair. We weren't expecting you today." Sinclair. Liam's stomach dropped. No. No way. But the way everyone straightened up, the way the manager practically tripped over himself to greet her, it all clicked into place. Evelyn Sinclair. The billionaire owner of Sinclair Auto Group. His boss. And he'd given her $3 like she was some stranded stranger. Evelyn cornered him in the garage later. "You didn't tell me you worked here," she said. Liam laughed bitterly. "Oh yeah? "Hi, I'm Liam, your broke employee." Real smooth. A pause. She softened. "Those $3 meant something. Let me repay you." Liam cut her off. "I don't want your money." He walked away, heart pounding. Over the next few weeks, Evelyn found excuses to visit the garage more often. At first, Liam avoided her, but slowly, begrudgingly, he started to thaw. One day, she accidentally left her keys in her car, knowing full well it would mean Liam had to bring them to her office. When he showed up, scowling, she offered him coffee. "I don't drink coffee," he muttered. "Tea, then?" He sighed. "Why are you doing this?" Evelyn leaned against her desk. "Because I want to." Liam shook his head. "You don't have to pretend to be nice to me just because I gave you bus fare." "I'm not pretending," she said softly. For the first time, he met her eyes. Really met them. And for a second, just a second, something passed between them, something warm. Something real. But the rumors started within a week. "Special project, my ass," Mark sneered in the break room. "Everyone knows why Sinclair really picked you." Liam's knuckles whitened around his coffee cup. "Shut up, Mark." "Oh, come on." First she visits the garage every damn day, now Carter gets his own private workspace. Bet she's getting more than oil changes. The coffee cup shattered against the wall inches from Mark's head. "Say that again," Liam growled, "and I'll show you what these hands can really do." That afternoon, Liam found a note tucked in his toolbox: "Meet me on the rooftop. 7 p.m. The city lights twinkled below them as Evelyn gripped the railing. "I heard what happened," she said quietly. Liam stared at the skyline. "It's nothing." "Nothing?" Evelyn turned on him, eyes blazing. "They're calling you my whore, Liam. And you just take it? What do you want me to do?" Liam snapped. "You're the one who said this had to be secret." "Because I knew this would happen." Evelyn threw up her hands. God forbid the mighty Evelyn Sinclair treats a mechanic like an actual human being. Then his phone buzzed, an emergency alert from the garage. "Fire in progress. All personnel evacuate." Smoke billowed from the service bay as Liam sprinted downstairs, Evelyn right behind him. "Everyone out?" Liam yelled over the alarms. Mark nodded, coughing. "Think so. Wait, where's Simmons?" Liam's blood ran cold. Old man Simmons, half-deaf, probably still in the back office. He moved before he could think, charging into the smoke. "Liam!" Evelyn's scream followed him. The heat was unbearable. Flames licked at the oil-stained floors. Liam found Simmons slumped at his desk, overcome by smoke. As he hauled the older man up, a support beam groaned overhead, then everything went black. The hospital room was too bright. Liam blinked awake to find Evelyn asleep in the chair beside his bed, her designer clothes rumpled, mascara smudged under her eyes. She'd been here a while. He tried to sit up, wincing at the pain. The movement woke Evelyn. "You idiot," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "You could have died." Liam managed a weak smile. "Worth it." Something broke in Evelyn's expression. Before Liam could react, she leaned forward and kissed him, hard, desperate, like she was pouring every unsaid word into that single touch. When she pulled back, her voice was raw. "I'm done hiding." Evelyn's lips still burned from the kiss when her phone started exploding. Buzz. 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 She pulled away from Liam's hospital bed to see 27 missed calls, all from her father. Then she opened Instagram. Hashtag Sinclair scandal was trending. There, in crystal clear 4K, was the photo. Evelyn clutching Liam's face as she kissed him in the hospital room, his burns visible on his arms, her tear-streaked makeup smeared across her cheeks. The caption, Sinclair heiress in secret romance with mechanic, who saved lives in fiery crash. Richard Sinclair stood in the doorway, his custom Brioni suit barely containing his fury. "Explain," he hissed, throwing a tabloid onto Liam's bed. The headline screamed, "Billionaire princess dating the help." The private hospital room became a war zone. "You have 3 hours to issue a statement," Richard snarled, calling this a moment of weakness after the fire. Evelyn stepped between her father and Liam's bed. "Or what? Or he's fired. Blacklisted. And you? You can say goodbye to your inheritance." Liam tried to sit up, wincing. "Evelyn, don't," but she was already grabbing her purse. "Come on." Her father blinked. "What? We're leaving. And Dad? Go to hell." Liam had never been inside a $20 million penthouse before. "Yours?" he croaked as Evelyn helped him onto a sofa that probably cost more than his life savings. "One of them," she said, throwing open the floor-to-ceiling windows. "They won't find us here." Liam watched her pace, this fierce, brilliant woman who just risked everything for him. "Evelyn, you can't actually choose me over your family." She stopped dead. "Watch me." The reporter's microphone jabbed toward them as they exited the safe house 3 days later. "Ms. Sinclair. Is it true you're dating an employee?" Evelyn turned to face the cameras head-on. "Yes," she said simply. The crowd erupted. Flashbulbs popped like fireworks. "How does your family feel about, will he sign a prenup, isn't this just a publicity stunt?" Liam felt Evelyn tense beside him. Then, without thinking, he did the one thing no one expected. He laughed. Not a nervous chuckle. A full, deep belly laugh that silenced the crowd. "You think this is a stunt?" He gestured at his bandaged arms, Evelyn's messy ponytail, their stained sweatpants. "Man, I wish. This has been the worst week of my life." The reporters stared. Then, slowly, someone giggled. Evelyn squeezed his hand, her eyes shining. 1 month later, Liam stood outside Sinclair Tower, but this time, all of New York was watching. The restored Shelby GT 500 gleamed under a spotlight. And taped to the windshield? Those same $2 bills and a coin, now framed in glass. Evelyn pushed through the crowd in a grease-stained Sinclair auto shirt. "What's this?" Liam tossed her the keys. "Paid in full." Then he got down on one knee. The crowd gasped. Cameras zoomed in. Somewhere, Richard Sinclair probably had a stroke. But Liam only had eyes for Evelyn. "You once asked why I helped you at that bus stop. Turns out my heart knew something I didn't." Evelyn was already crying when he opened the ring box. To reveal a simple silver key. "To the garage," he whispered. "Our garage." Did Liam's $3 act of kindness buy him a lifetime of happiness, or was Evelyn the one who won the ultimate prize? Like if you believe love is priceless, share if you'd risk it all for a chance at something real, and follow Heartfelt Tales TV for more stories where hearts matter more than wallets. This isn't just a happy ending, it's proof that sometimes the smallest gestures lead to the biggest rewards.